It's story time, yo. So sit down and shut your lips. Today, The Butter Battle Book by Dr. Seuss. Hit it. On the last day of summer, 10 hours before fall, my grandfather took me out to the wall. For a while he stood silent, then finally he said, with a very sad shake of his very old head, on this side of the wall we are the Yooks, on the far side of the wall live the Zooks. Then my grandfather said, it's high time you knew of the terrible things that those Zooks do. Every Zook home and every Zook town, the Zooks eat their bread with the butter side down. But we Yooks, when that breakfast was spread our bread, Grandpa said with the butter side up, that's the right honest way. Grandpa gritted his teeth, so you can't trust the Zook who spreads his butter underneath. Every Zook must be watched, he has kinks in his soul. That's why as a youth I made watching my goal. Watching Zooks for the Zook, watching Border Patrol. Yooks are not Zooks, keep your butter side up. In those days, of course, the wall wasn't so high, and I could look any Zook square in the eye if he dared to come close, give him a twitch from my tufted, prickly snakeberry switch. For a while that worked fine, all the Zooks stayed away, and our country was safe in that terrible day. A very rude Zook by the name of Van Itch snuck up and slingshotted my snakeberry switch. Switch it. My broken off switch in my head hung in shame to the chief Yukaroo in great sorrow I came, but our leader just smiled. He said, you're not to blame, and those Zooks will be sorry they started this game. We'll dress you up right in a fancier suit, we'll give you a fancier slingshot to shoot, and he ordered the boys in the back room to figure, we'll build you some sort of triple sling jigger. With my triple sling jigger I sure felt much bigger. I marched to the wall with great aim and great vigor, right up advantage, my hand on the trigger, I'll have no more nonsense. I said with a frown, Zooks who eat bread with the butter side down. I'm unhappy to say he came back the next day in a spiffy new suit with a big new machine, and he snarled as he said, looking frightfully mean, you may fling those hard rocks with your triple sling jigger, but I also have my hand on a trigger. My wonderful weapon, the jigger rock, snatch him, we'll fling him right back as quick as we catch him. We'll have no more nonsense, we'll take no more gut from you Yooks who eat bread with the butter side up. I have failed, sir. I saw it as I made my report to the chief Yukaroo in the headquarters fort. He just laughed. You've done nothing of the sort. Our slingshots have failed. That was old-fashioned stuff. Slingshots, dear boy, are not modern enough. All we need, some newfangled kind of gun. My boys in the back room have already begun to think of the walloping with Zinger 1. My bright boys are thinking they're right on track. They'll think one up quick and they'll send you right back. They thought up a great one, they certainly did. They thought up a gun called the Kickapoo Kid, which they loaded with the powerful poo-a-doo powder, and the angst they can be like dried clam chowder. And they carefully trained a real smart dog, Daniel, to serve as the country's first gun-toting spaniel. Then Daniel the Kickapoo Spaniel and I marched back to the wall with our heads held high while everyone cheered and the cheers filled the sky. Fight, fight, fight for the butter side up, do or die. Well, we didn't do and we didn't quite die, but we sure did get worse. Poor Daniel and I. Van Itch was there too, and he said, the old pig, my boys in my back room invented this rig called the 8-nozzled elephant toted balloon blitz. Shoots high explosive sour cherry stone pits, and we'll put your dumb Kickapoo kid on the fritz. Poor Daniel and I were scared out of our wits. Once more, by Van Itch I was bested and beat. Once more I lived home from the wall in defeat. I dragged and I sagged, and my spirits were low as I thought they would ever go, when I heard a boom-ba and a diddle-a-dill, and our buttle-up band marched over the hill. The chief Yukaroo had sent them to meet me, along with the right side up girls to greet me. They sang, oh, be faithful, believe in thy butter. And they lifted my spirits right out of the gutter. My boy, smiled the chief Yukaroo, we just voted, you've been promoted, your new uniform's ready, get in it. The big war is coming, you're going to begin it, and what more this time you are going to win it. My boys in the back room have finally found how, just wait till you see what they puttered up now. In the great new machine you'll fly over the wall and clobber those butter down Zooks on the wall. Those boys in the back room sure had a putter. They made a lane called the Utterly Sputter, and I jumped up the board with my heart all aflutter and steered down the lane to the upside down butter. This machine was so modern, so frightfully new, no one knew quite exactly what it would do, but it was several faucets and sprinkled blue goo, which somehow would sprinkle the zooks as I flew. The gum up and upside down butter they chew. I was racing pell-mell when I heard a voice yell of a sprinkle us zooks, I'll sprinkle you as well. Finishes has sputter exactly like mine, and he yelled, my blue gooer is working just fine. I'm here to see if that you zooks go zooks, and I better forget, cause zooks can go yooks. I flew right back home, and as you may have guessed, I was downright disappointed, disturbed, and depressed. And I saw you soon as I stepped back on land. There were all kinds of girls in the Butter Up band. The chief drum major, Miss Yuki and Zoo, said we were a pretty flight that we flew, and the chief Yukaroo is looking for you. I raced to his office, the place was a sight. Have no fear, said the chief, everything is alright. My bright boy back rooms have been all brighter than bright. They thought up a gadget that's newer than new. They've caught a mysterious moo like a moo, and I blow the zooks in a salamagoo. They've invented the bitsy big boy boomeroo. You just run to the wall like a nice little man. Drop this bomb on the zooks just as fast as you can. I have ordered all the yooks to stay safe underground. The bitsy big boy boomeroo is around. As I raced for that wall with the bomb in my hand, I noticed that every last yook in our land was obeying the command. They were bravely marching with banners aflutter down a hole with our country of the right side up butter. That's when grandfather found me. He grabbed me. He said, you should be down in the hole and not up here instead. Perhaps this is all better. Somehow you'll make history right here and right now. Grandpa leapt up the wall with the lopulous leap. He cleared his hoarse throat with a populous beep. He screamed, here's the end of this terrible town, full of zooks who eat bread with the butter side down. And that very instant we heard a clup clup to the feet on the wall, and Van Itch snuck up. The boys in his back room had made him 1-2, and his fist was another big boy boomeroo. I'll blow you, he said, into pork and sweet beans. I'll butter you up to the small smithereens. Grandpa, I shouted, be careful, oh gee, who's going to drop it? Will you or will he? Be patient, said Grandpa, we'll see. We'll see.